If you've ever talked to a dog trainer, you've probably heard a lot of them say implementing structure in your house is very important. But what exactly does that mean? To me, that means setting boundaries, certain parts of my house that I don't want my dogs to be in, just so that they don't think it's a free-for-all. There is some order and some rules that they have to abide by. They're living under my roof, they live by my rules. A good one that I really recommend for all dog owners is keeping your dogs out of the kitchen. And that is for multiple reasons. One, they need to be respectful of your space. They don't need to be crowding your legs all the time. You don't need to be tripping over them. It's also a safety precaution because if I'm carrying a hot skillet over, or a hot boiling pan of water over to the sink to dump it out, my dogs do not need to be right here and be a tripping hazard for me. Because if I don't know they're there, say they lay down behind me and I don't even know they're there, and I turn and trip over them, now boiling water is going to go everywhere. I could fall and hit the floor, the boiling water might fall onto my dogs, and then they're going to be the ones who get injured really badly. And I don't want that. I want to completely prevent that from happening. Another one, if you have sharp knives. If you're cutting stuff over on the cutting board and then you're carrying the knife over to put it in the sink and wash it, your dogs don't need to be in your way tripping you, because nobody needs to get stabbed. So with my own dogs, I've set a rule that they are not allowed in the kitchen. One, my kitchen's not really that big. If you can see even two people in here, it gets kind of crowded and hard to get everywhere that I need to. So the last thing I need is another dog, let alone two dogs, bombarding all my space and making it even harder for me to navigate my small kitchen. So this threshold right here is a boundary that they understand they are not allowed to cross. So I don't really care if they lay there and watch me, but they do. If I come through there, I tell them to move and they move. That's important too. But I don't care if they lay right there and they're watching me, seeing what I'm doing, just as long as they don't cross that threshold, cross that boundary, because I don't want them in here. The best way to teach it, if you've got a new dog, it's pretty easy to implement this rule from the get-go. If you've had a dog for years where they're used to getting in the kitchen, it can take some more time and consistency to implement this new habit, because they've been doing it for so long that they don't know. Not that it's not possible, but it just takes time. So the biggest way, if they start to bombard in here, hey, I'm probably going to confuse them right now because I'm going to invite them in the kitchen so I can show you how to get them out of the kitchen. Hey, come here. Roman, stop licking his butt. Come here. Good. Nope. It's that easy. He starts to walk in, I just say nope, and I step towards him. Get out of the way. What you doing? Oh, Champy. Nope. And now they understand that that is now a boundary they are not allowed to cross. It's that easy. And that is positive punishment, by the way. I'm using spatial pressure, stepping into them and telling them they are not allowed to cross this line. Did I touch them? No. But it's still a form of punishment because I'm adding social pressure to them. Spatial pressure, telling them, get out of the way. So that's one I really recommend, a good way to implement structure in your house. Now, is it 100% necessary that you do this? No, but I highly recommend it. And even if you have a bigger kitchen or a different layout of a kitchen, so mine only has one access point. You might be thinking, oh, well, I've got an island and it's going to be too tough. You can do the same thing. It's the same concept. It's just you have to practice at both sides of the island. Or if you have a completely open concept kitchen, but you can still set a boundary there. It's just, it takes time and consistency and some sort of visual to help the dog understand exactly what point they are not allowed to cross. So I cannot recommend this enough. It is a great way to add structure into your home so that a lot of the problem behaviors that you're dealing with start to go away. Because when they don't have that guidance and that leadership and those rules, that's when they start to make their own decisions, and they're not generally good decisions. So please try this out and keep your family safe. That's keep your family, keep your dog safe. That is the most important thing to take away from any training whatsoever.